Ushindi kwa ukombozi wetu, tujitoe wenyewe, tusimame pamoja, kulinda uhuru na umoja wetu. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote, tuimbe pamoja, kuenzi shikamano hatima yetu. Tujitoe wenyewe kupambana pamoja, uhuru na umoja vitawale. Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote na tujibidishe kutoa kilicho bora kwa Afrika. Chimbuko la wanadamu, chemchemi ya utamaduni, tumaini letu wakati wa mafarakano. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima.
Most welcome to Humanst TV Africa, and what a beautiful introduction song about humanity, about Africa, and of course about the world. We are sons and daughters of the world. That is the song. Now, this is Humanst TV Africa, and my name is Kato Mukasa. I'm a Ugandan lawyer interested in issues humanism, issues human rights, issues development, and of course issues progress, critical thinking, and all. Now, Humanst TV Africa is a registered NGO. We are registered as a charity to serve in the media industry, and then we are here to serve you, to learn from you as you learn from us, to empower you as you empower us, to educate you as you educate us. We are here to empower, sensitize, inform, and share information. Now, today, as Humanst TV Africa, I want to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel. And the channel is Humanst TV Africa. We are on Facebook, but also we are on YouTube. Once you subscribe on YouTube, you'll be able to see so many of our interviews. So far, I've done over 400 interviews. Quite interesting. Please. And of course, episodes and shows. We want to encourage you to please go and check out our shows. But also, we want to encourage you to write to us. Write to us at info. The email is info at humansttvafrica.com. Write to us an email. Write to us an email is info@humansttvafrica.com, or send us a WhatsApp message at +254 7473 56767. Our spokesperson, also our communication officer, Brian Kabeko, based in Kenya, will be able to respond to you, or Dennis Bongole, based in Uganda, will be able to respond to you. We are looking for volunteers, and I'm happy today we have a special friend who is joining us, and I'll be telling her to give us volunteers from that part of the world. We want volunteers to work with us. If you're a journalist, you're a lawyer, you're an engineer, you are a medical doctor, you're a researcher, you're a social worker, you're a teacher, whatever profession you are, and you think you can make an addition to Humanst TV Africa, you can enrich our audience, you can educate our audience, you can serve as an IT expert, you can serve as a researcher, we are welcoming you to work with us as a volunteer. For now, we are a charity working for the betterment of the human being. And lastly, we have physical studios. We have studios in Uganda. We have physical studios in Kenya. We have studios in Nigeria. We have studios in Ghana. We have studios in Zambia, Zimbabwe, Sierra Leone, and we have studios in the US, and of course we have studios in the UK. Now we are about to have another studio in Singapore, and of course it brings me to yet another interesting episode today. It's the Humanist interview, and our guest is none other than Nora, my friend Nora, who is going to be ushered in, and she'll be telling us more about herself and, of course, about Singapore. Nora comes from one of the best countries in the world, that is Singapore. Very small country like this, but very strategically located and very influential in the world. One of the best countries in the world is Singapore. In fact, Singapore, the people in Singapore lead a better life than the people in the US. People actually don't know this. I should be educating them now in this interview that the people in Singapore live a far better life than people in the UK, than the people in the US. Just like that. In terms of economy, in terms of production, Singapore is a world power. And of course, humans in Singapore are doing quite a great job. They're a great team to reckon with. Now, I want to welcome our guest, of course, for today, Nora in the studio. She's from Singapore, Human Society of Singapore. Nora, you are welcome.
Hello, good evening, and everybody.
Thank you so much, Nora. Nora, I was just giving praises to Singapore because I love Singapore, I should tell you. I love Singapore more than I love USA, more than I love UK. I think Singapore is a very good country. The only country I love more is Uganda, but Singapore is such a lovely, lovely country, and I really love your country. Nora, now this is your show. This is completely your show. Now, this is Nora from Human Society of Scotland. Nora is my friend. I know a bit about her, but I won't allow my biases to destroy the show. I'm going to invite Nora and ask her to tell us who is Nora.
Right. Okay. I'm born in Singapore. I grew up and get all my education in Singapore, so I'm a Singapore citizen, and actually I come from the second generation of immigrants. Both my grandparents come from China. One comes from China, another one from India and Malaysia. They migrated down to Singapore, and they settled down. So I see myself more as a Singaporean, and racially, I very difficult. I can be anybody. My national identity put me as Malay, right? But I feel more like a Chinese and Indian. I'm married to an South Indian, so that's what I am. I'm a registered nurse by profession, but I have stopped practicing nursing for a long time. I think I'm more onto the community based, where I go out and do what I can to the society there out there, which requires my attention. Okay, so we want to speak more about, I was part of As I said, I was in the Singapore Society Humanist since the inception, which I registered. But I was not very active because I was out of the country. But I do come back whenever they have an event. I'm back to Singapore. Only about 2 years ago, when I came back to Singapore for good, permanently, then I told them that I'm ready, and I want to be part of the society, be more actively involved, because I believe that the importance of a civil society in the development of a country, the importance of civil society, and humanist society is one of them. And I think it's more like something which I would like to return back to get myself involved. All right, so I should tell just briefly about Humanist Society, the
Wait a
slides.
minute. Nora,
Okay.
don't jump the gun. Don't jump the gun.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Now you're asking.
Now, slowly by slowly, we are eating
Okay,
this food slowly. Now, Nora, I know you as a very influential humanist, very
right.
supportive humanist. I should give you credit right here because you have helped so many people I know, so many humanists in trouble, so many atheists in trouble. Atheists don't talk about that right now. But I want to ask you a question. How did you lose your religion, your faith? Take
I
us through
didn't
that
really.
journey.
I don't talk about. I mean, I was born as a Muslim. I grew up as a Muslim, and I just moved. I wouldn't say I lose it. It's just that I moved away gradually from it, and I realized that. Um, I mean, the transformation comes in when I was in nursing as a nurse, because we believe that you should not differentiate people based on their race, religion, and all these things. So it's just a transformation process that I go through, and I realize that you can be good without religion, you know? And I think that plays an important role, that you don't need religion to be a good person. And I see a lot of some religious ideas, religious fanaticism has caused a lot of damage to, all right? And and as I said, gradually I just move away. I stopped practicing, and I see myself more as something, so that see another person as a fellow uh, humanist, uh, you know, regardless of their political affiliation, religion, and ideas, and all these things. That's what I am right now.
No, that is quite interesting. You coming from a Muslim background is very interesting, especially because we're lady. Honestly, without biases, ladies fear to come out. Without biases, at least I
Oh yeah,
speak as an African, because the Islam as a religion is so strong on the women,
yeah,
is so
yeah.
oppressive on the women. They don't speak, they don't make any decisions as far as I know. Now, if a woman can come up and say, I'm losing it, it must be a hard thing. How was it for you saying enough is enough? Didn't you find opposition?
Yeah, as I said, I'm a fighter ever since I'm young. I like to. I beat up boys who says that we
Mm,
women I mean, in school, uh, anybody who says that we ladies are weak, we are weakling, I'll go and beat them
mm,
up. That's when I was growing up, to prove that we not all ladies are weak. We are fighters. I mean, all the things. So it's just that it's a part of growing up. It's when I realized that a lot of things is happening, and I'm not very happy. They say, "No, you're a woman. You cannot do this. Woman, you cannot do that." I said, "No, it's not right somewhere." I didn't choose to be born as a woman, but since I am right now, I
mm,
don't like to be treated like a second class citizen. I must get a man's permission for me to go out. I must get a
mm,
man's permission for me to do this and all that. That's not correct, you know?
mm,
And I grew up in a way that people say that, we women, I mean, that's how I was taught as part of my religious upbringing.
mm,
We women are weak. We are not like the men. Men are stronger than us. Men are this, men. I said, no, it cannot be. You know, uh, it's just something which to me does not register. I just cannot accept it. You know, And as I say, I have been a fighter, so something which I think is not right, I just move away. And yes, we have peer pressure at work. I have my own Muslim friends also try. I mean, they just move away from me and they say a lot of bad things behind my back. And I say, look, my life does not revolve around you all. You know, I mean, we learn how to be independent. And I live in a multicultural society. I learned to be independent. My parents brought me out to be independent, to do what you think is right. And I think that's what influenced me a lot to say, enough. I want to be away from it. I don't want to be subscribed to these kind of things. You know, the kind of things.
I
So,
get it.
and I think my activism comes in because when I see, when I was in Malaysia, I met a few ex-Muslim closet Muslims, you know, and they're being hunted down as if they're criminals. I met few of them and they shared their stories. And I said, this is not correct, you know. You know, this is not correct. You know, all these things. So, but I think it's just the ideological differences. Like for me in Singapore, we have freedom of religion, allowed to renounce, we're allowed to, you know, be constitutional right. Whereas Malaysia, you can't. If you're born a Muslim, you're born a Malay, you're a Muslim. You cannot change, you know. So I saw that. I think that a lot influenced into my wanting to be active, to voice out, to say something which I think is not right. No, it's not right. You cannot just. And I think I always blame the moderates, Muslims who say, you know, something you see is not right, but you choose not to say anything about it, and you stand and you watch. You are equally responsible for the rise of fundamentalism and extremism. That's what I think it is. You know what I mean? You know it's not right, and you choose not to do anything. You just keep quiet. You're no different. You know? I mean, that's just how I see things, right? I know, I mean, not everybody agrees with me, so I receive my own share of death threats.
Oh, wow.
People try, oh yeah, I received death threats. People try to, I say, okay, you know, okay, so, but I survive. Somehow or other, I survive.
No, you know, let me just interject a bit. Sorry to interject, but I will have to. To me, death threats is quite something very threatening. And we are talking about Singapore here. If you were in Malaysia, if you were in Indonesia, in fact, if you were in Jakarta, Indonesia, I would have accepted that.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about Singapore, which years are we talking about where the threats are coming?
It's from fellow Muslims who just feel that, I mean, they say that you are a traitor, you know, because
oh wow,
you are by coming up forward, you are actually encouraging others to do the same thing, you know. But my version was that this whole concept of traitor is used by who, for what purpose? You know, like for example, if I am somebody who are freedom fighters, right, fighting for a dictatorship, an evil man, would you call that as a traitor? You know what I mean? I mean, people use it for their own version, what they want to say. So I say, no, I'm not a traitor. I'm just somebody who just feels that, see, something's done not right. I just say it up. And I voice it out. You know, the kind of things. I'm not a violent person that I must go and, you know, commit act of violence. I think I didn't come to that stage yet. I don't think so. I would, because I don't think so. I would subscribe to the act of violence. You know.
Wow.
Extremism.
Yeah. Wow. Now that's quite interesting because, of course, you are right. It doesn't matter where you are. Your family can kill you. And so to say this, many Muslim families have this kind of radicalism, no matter where you are. I was watching a documentary right here in the UK, a documentary where Muslim families are forcing their daughters into arranged marriages right here in the UK. You can't believe it. Then another documentary was showing a Muslim family that killed their own daughter.
Yeah,
on a documentary watched right here in the UK, and it happened in England. not Scotland, but in England, where a family killed their own daughter because she refused to marry a man they had arranged for her. Now,
Yeah.
I agree with you that no matter where you are, whether it's Singapore or UK or US, once a region is part of it, it's going to spoil so many things. Now, Nora, taking you back to Singapore.
Yeah.
I admire Singapore, I should tell you. I've been telling you this off camera, but I'm also telling you right now, I love Singapore. To me, it's one of the best countries in the world. And I love the guy behind the success, behind the foundation, Lee Kuan Yew, if I get the name right.
Yeah. Our founding fathers. Yeah.
If I get the name right and my
Yes,
memory
Lee
right.
Kuan Yew, one of the founding
Yeah,
fathers.
yeah. I was really a student of Lee Kuan Yew. I loved him
Okay.
from afar.
Yeah, he's a lawyer.
Yes, yes, he was a great guy, and I loved him, his approach to life, the way he handled the country, the way he changed the country to the better. Now, having said that, a guy gives the country a better foundation. Singapore today, as I was saying off air, is one of those countries with the most happy people in the world.
The most
Happy people, happy people, happy
happy.
people. Yes.
All right.
And one of those countries with the best GDPs, the best GNPs. I speak it from the economics point of view. When you look at the statistics, Singapore is better than US citizens.
Okay.
People in Singapore, when you look at the stats, which I've been looking at, people in Singapore live a better life, far better life than guys in the USA. They live far better life than guys in the UK. When you look at the statistics, I'm telling you what I'm reading.
Okay, GDP.
Now, why do I say this? That you had a fantastic background, a leadership that looked at the country as small as it is and changed it to become a destination for the world, to become an attraction for the world. A people who looked at themselves last and put the country first. I always say that if African politicians would copy part of the methodology of the people in Singapore or the politicians in Singapore, at least it would have been better, because there's a bit of sacrifice they made to ensure that the country moves. I know there are bottlenecks, there are bad things done. I want to go into that. But honestly, leadership did so many good things to help people in Singapore have a fair life. Now, having said that, if you had leaders like Yu Kuan Lee giving us a background, I would say, this is my observation, that maybe free thought, maybe critical thinking, maybe rationalism began with such people, and you guys found a better background. Do you agree with me when I make the statement?
Yeah, I agree. As I said, we were not perfect. To me, I have no complaint. I have a good life over here. I have nothing to complain. I mean, cost of living is high. It's not to say that we don't have our own issues. We do have, you know.
You do have them, of course.
As I said, it's very important of who is the politician that you elect, because, as I said, the policies must put the people first. As I said, when Singapore developed, I think you look at this they put interest like, housing, the basic needs of the people must be met. I think that's the basic needs of the people. Think about safety, things about water, education, health. These are, I call it the pillars in the society. You need to focus on that. Education is very important. I think Singapore invested highly in education, in health, in our infrastructure, communication, and all that. So because all these are the ones which bring people together, if these basic things you cannot strengthen it, the rest will just fall apart very easily. I think that one of the successful story was Singapore because of that. They focus on the education, the thing is, and then later thinking about bringing people together, about multiculturalism, because we go through our own form of racial riots. We do have, and all these things, and we learn from that, and we know that should not happen again. And that is to us in that it's very important focusing about how we can live interracial with different people from different racial group can live together, because we see how the riots in other countries and we learn from that. And I don't think so all of us wants to go through that dark period of time in our history, right? Yeah. And as I said, our country is not perfect, but I think we are also good, and our government are very responsive to issues, common ground. When they do something, there's always a feedback. They always ask about opinion. There's always a feedback, and they will try to improve accordingly to our society needs and all that. Yeah.
Yes, Nora. To me, I should say, as an outsider who admires Singapore, I told you that for me, I think that Singapore's kind of politics is more of people-centered.
People-centered, yes.
And to me, that is humanism in a brief. Humanism in brief. Now, going back to humanism again, let us look at Human Society Singapore. And we ask a question: how do you and your colleagues get this idea to start Human Society Singapore?
Right, as I said, we are always there. We would just, in every group, we have the religious, we have the non-religious group. We're just at the background, at the fringe of the background, and we were just minding our own business. We all started as just a meetup group. We have a meetup group, and then I see this meetup just for some events. We just, the thought of forming as a registered society was never in the picture until something happened. Something needs to happen for us. Hey, something is happening. We must do something, and if we want to come up forward as a voice, then we need, as I said, we need to be registered. So that is why we form. Just the next step is just registered as a society, so that we can get recognized as a voice. Should I just put my slides?
Yes, please. Then Brian can show us the slides, please.
Okay, yeah, this is so we founded in 2010. All right, this is during we have our musical show. We want to have a musical day, Humanist Got Talent kind of things. Right. Okay, so so we are growing humanists, 80s, agnostics all come together, and in our latest census, which is 2020, we have our number of non-religious have gone up to 20%. It's actually the second highest, because the first is the Buddhist group, second would be the non-religious, followed by other religious students. So our numbers has gone up actually. All right. And what do we do? Our role, we have this public education where we do public talks, all right, on current affairs, legal, religious matter. We talk about science and all these things. And we invited speakers from various societies, universities to give talks, all right? We have social events, all right? You have things like just come in to have singing session, barbecues, and all these things, all right? The next one, we do community service where we collect books, and then we do have distribute during food for the needies, for our senior citizens. We do beach cleanup, all right, that kind of things. Yeah. This is also another part where we take part in public forum, all right, especially on criticisms, secularism, all the LGBT rights and all this. We do when certain things come out in newspaper. We need to be addressed. Okay, we form out our team, and we address the issue, and we try to get it published. All right. We now very much involved in the interfaith dialogue. All right. So we are invited, as it be recognized, we are invited to give talks, to participate in our interfaith dialogue. All right, between the religious and the non-religious group. Right, and in fact, our conference will be also focused on the interfaith and secularism. All right, so these are other activities. We have this peer support group where we have 2 months sessions. We come together, we talk about overcoming challenges in life. This is a very private way, members and non-members can just join in. All right. We talk about journeys of parenting for the non-religious, how we have these inter-belief relationships, because as being in a multicultural society, there's mixed marriages, mixed relationships. So this is the inter-belief relationship is now becoming very popular. All right. And then we have our Death Cafe, which is my forte. I'm on palliative care, and also we talks about how finding your purpose in life. All right. This is what called part of our Humanist Cafe, the money discussion, and we just talk about all these things. Right. Okay, we have our celebrants, right? Taksi, which is our president. He does conduct celebrant services, all right, like naming and also weddings and all these things. All right. So we do have, all right. So we have this AC Grading came to visit us. And I think Mr. Lauren Cross also came to visit us before, and we just have a small gathering just to welcome them over. All right. The thing. Okay, so this is what we are. We're just a very young country, also young society. So we just want to make to get, I just say, we collect the stories from the non-believers and all these things, and to see how we can have a voice in our part of our Singapore's national story. We make our presence.
Wow. I love
small.
Singapore.
Yeah.
Conclude. You are saying something.
Yeah.
You were saying something.
Yeah.
Okay.
As I said, we are a very small society. We are growing. Yeah. Slowly.
You are growing, and I'm happy to have you here on set. Ladies and gentlemen watching us, this is Human Society Singapore, and of course, this is Nora in the studio, the secretary of this important organization, which began in 2010. What a milestone! I've seen
the
faces.
time we got registered, but we are there much earlier. We just
because honestly, you were a young organization that is doing incredibly good work. And I'm even happy to see that you are celebrating marriages. You have human ceremonies in Singapore.
Yeah.
This is fascinating.
I mean, there's also talk about, like death rights, a secular version of death rights and all these things. So people did ask us about it. Because I conducted a humanist death rights before with some in Malaysia, and how we do it in a very different way. We just remove the religious aspect and all these things. Yeah, do that. All right.
Yeah, for the benefit of the viewers, if you have the statistics, I'd like you to share with us. Singapore has how many millions of people, for example, and then estimation. How many of these are non-religious?
Right. As I say, in our latest census, which is in 2020, it said that 20% of our population are non-religious, and I think it is much more. Because some people just buy. When the surveys comes in, they just add in, all these things. It takes courage for somebody to really say, I am a non-religious. But sometimes it's just very happy. Like you have a Buddhist, and even within the Muslim community, I know the number of people who have renounced, who have moved, have gone up, but they never declare themselves as a non-religious. All right, and as I said, we were hoping in 2025, the next census, it will go up again. We might be the biggest group, because right now the biggest group are the Buddhist group. We are the second highest.
Wow.
20% from 10 it goes in.
That's impressive. I mean, 20%.
It was after the census report came out that suddenly we become the focus of national interest. Suddenly CNA, our national TV, wants to interview all of us. Suddenly there's papers who wants to write about us to find out who we are actually, kind of things.
Wow. Right. You became the focus just like that. And that is interesting, Nora, to hear. Now, Nora, tell me, because this is interesting. In Uganda, We are not given a chance to say we are humanists. No one
Really?
gives us a chance to say we are humanists. When they are doing their bogus censuses, they don't even offer a space for a non-believer.
All
Now,
right.
when they are making reports, they'll say about 1% are non-believers. They'll simply assume our
Assume.
percentages. So we don't even know the right percentage of non-believers in Uganda, but you are lucky that Singapore even gives you room to assert yourselves. I think that is the milestone, honestly. And in a country where you have 20% is a good thing. And I do believe that in the next census, you are more likely to be 30%. I should tell you, in the
Yeah.
UK, right now, at least they are saying that 50% are non-believers. At
Yeah.
least now,
Yeah.
going by the trends. And this is a good thing. And very soon, of course, more will be non-believers. But because people take time to say, I am not a believer, and please indicate it on my form.
Yeah.
Now, in Africa, where we have no voice, it's very hard for us to know how many we are. Now, Nora, going back to Humanst to Singapore, there's something very important about your organization. You have been supporting people, some activities. I should say that when we were doing our human celebrants training about a year ago,
Oh yes,
you
exactly.
gave
Yeah.
us some.
What happened? I was hoping that you can continue.
Yeah,
It's part of,
you-
as I said, part of our society, technical support, providing a platform for other organizations. So we're doing for the Malaysian too, where they use our
yeah.
platform for the activities, online activities, and all these things. So yeah, that's one way that, as I say, as an outreach, our international outreach program. We are small, but we don't get funds from the government. We don't get funds. Most of our funds are just donation, membership, and for merchandise. We just work around that because and so but this is something that we can do, providing a platform within our means. We just do it.
No, no, I want to ask you right there.
Yeah.
I'm coming in right there because something is special about you. You began in 2010.
Uh-huh.
My NGO in Uganda, the one I
Uh-huh.
was leading, is called Humanist, began
Uh-huh.
in 2007, three
Oh,
years
okay.
before, three
Okay.
years before you began yours.
Yeah.
But again, we have the umbrella organization, which is the Uganda Humanist Association, which I'm the leader
Yeah.
today. UHASO began in 1994
Okay.
and got registered in 1996. You can imagine over 30 years of existence. Now, but here is the challenge, Nora. I want to point out why I credit your organization. That my organization, UHASO, which is over 30 years,
Yeah.
and my organization, Humanist, which is close to 15 years,
Yeah.
is struggling to get donations from within, is
Yeah.
struggling to get members paying membership fee.
All
Now,
right.
Nora, this is why I give you credit. Number one, as a secretary for organization, because the secretary does so much. But number two, as a membership. And I ask a question. You don't get these foreign donations because I've
Yeah.
never seen Singapore applying for donations. I've never seen that. Now,
We
but
do have
how do
our
you?
page. We have a donation, but we don't really go all out to. I think we're still very proud people that we will try to raise funds within ourselves. I mean, this
Yes,
is
this is why I want to ask you a minute. I want to ask you, how do you manage to organize your members to be
okay.
so much committed to pull money from their pocket year in, year out to finance your organization? How do you make it? How do you manage that?
Right. This is the. Well, we don't spend very much in terms of when we organize things. We don't. We spend very. We try to minimize our cost. I think to me about minimizing cost, unnecessary a wastage. We don't even have an office, because an official office to pay rent. So we can't, because we realize that at this stage we don't need an office yet. So whenever we have organization, we event, we just go to. We have a lot of those community based. We're very good. Some of the government agencies say, hey, come use our space for free. We have that our advanced workshop. So it's a free. So come our place. We have a space. They invite us to come over and have our events at their place for free. So I say, let's go. It's free. We just so and it's very minimal. So we don't really spend very much. There's not much spending, you know. And our membership, yeah, some paid. A student is free, yeah. For those students in university, in college, they don't have to pay membership fee. It's up to them. And then we have retirees; they pay half a price. So, but there are some people very nicely they just donate all these things. So we try to use the fund, because as I said, we don't like to have too much money also, because it doesn't look good, huh? To have too much money. We're not like church or something like. So,
Yeah.
so even we have the money, I say we spend for our members. Let's have a barbecue. Let's do something for our members. I think that's what my where I'm coming from. We have some money spend on our members, so that all of them come together. I think that's very important, to come together and spend on each other. And that's where society is all about, right?
I love that. I love that. You are giving me a quotation.
Mm,
And a lesson. Look, Nora, why I got you here is there are many reasons why I got you here. Because you are my friend, of course, and because I love what you do, but because I want you to teach us a lesson.
yeah,
Because I want us to learn from you.
yeah.
Because I agree that Human Society Scotland, I mean, Singapore, you guys have the same SS. Human Society Singapore.
Yeah, Scotland and Singapore is the king. Yeah.
Yes. And of course, apart from Human Society Singapore, I love Human Society Scotland. That's why sometimes I interchangeably say the two. I love HSS and you are the same HSS. Now, having said that, Nora, why I brought you here is to help humans in Africa learn
Yeah.
that, number one, you don't need to have so much money
Yeah.
to be great, to do impactful things. Nora, we have a problem that people must address, and by learning from you,
Yeah.
that actually members, once they are committed, they can sustain their organization. Members shouldn't join a movement because they want to pull out.
Yeah.
They should join a movement because they want to contribute. It's the reverse in many NGOs in Africa.
Yeah.
In many human NGOs in Africa, people are joining, but they expect money from it, and it's far from the truth.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you can build an organization based on that reasoning, that we are going to join to pull out, instead of joining to put in. You said a very important statement, Nora, a minute.
Yeah.
You said that we spend monies on our members,
Yeah.
but also, because they enjoy to see the benefits of the work we do. And number two, that you engage them, barbecue, these meetings together. To me, until we copy your methodology, we are here to learn from you, Nora. Because I want humans in Africa to pick a lesson. That look, Human Society Scotland, I mean, Singapore is small. It's small. You have seen their membership. But look, they are sustaining the activities to the extent that you sponsored our internet for almost 6 months.
Oh yeah.
When we are doing when we are doing human ceremonies training. I should say that. But this is a small organization. Yeah.
Still on? It's there.
We finished it.
Okay.
Yeah. But why I say this for everyone who is watching this to know is that it doesn't mean that you must be a big organization.
Yes.
But the quality of members you have,
Yeah.
and the commitment of these members, which Human Society Singapore has,
Yeah.
which many NGOs in Africa that are humanistic lack. And this
Yeah.
is why I brought you here to inspire us. And now we go back to the next stage now. That Human Society Singapore was announced last year by Humanist International,
Yeah.
International, to be organizing this year's
The ho-
conference,
yeah, the host for Humanist conference. Yeah.
the host. And to me, it did come as a surprise. To other
Okay.
people, it was. To me, it was not a surprise because you are the best organization so far that I know. Very
Thank you.
organized, very small, but very composed and very promising. Now, I want to ask you this going forward. Take us through hosting this event and how far you are, and people in Africa, especially watching us, would like to know
Yeah.
about this conference.
Right. The theme for this conference is more on secularism and the interfaith talk, and we're going to have it. As I say, it's still with that. We are just as I say, using currently we are just say financing whatever money that we have, and we know that we might get some grant from some groups who are just agrees to give us a grant. But we, as I say, I'm not really uh, looking at that yet. We are currently now at, let's say, we managed to secure things like event space. We are getting promising speakers, right? And we have two events, which is one is the conference itself, another one is the AGM for the international, right? So we are at a stage right now, and we're trying to hope that we could get some travel grants for our overseas participants who can come and join us. Yeah. And
Nora, I'm so
I hope
happy.
Kato can come in, Kato. It will be good to have you around. Then I
I'm
can get
telling you, I wish I
you
could
to
come.
sign the book for me, you know.
Yes, Nora. But I know goodness will make it possible. One day I'll come and hug you seriously and I sign books for you, autograph and all that. But now, Nora, of course, my friends, my colleagues in Africa would like to, of course, come and attend at the conference. Nora, when is this conference?
It's in September, September
It's in
2020.
September. And when is the
The first
deadline
day.
for submission?
Sorry?
When is the deadline for applications? When is the deadline for applications?
It should be out very soon. We just, I think somewhere in now in September, something should be around 2 or 3 months time. We will just open up the,
So it's not yet out. Call
not
for
yet.
applications don't yet out. Okay, I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. Now, not having said that, for me, I'm full of praises for Human Society Singapore to me. And I wish we are going to get more interviews with you, more conversations with you so that people can be able to know, especially your work methodology. I want you to inspire people in Africa. Now, not having said that, I got to know you about 3 years ago,
Yes.
and through
Egyptian
you,
girl.
the Egyptian girl. I won't even discuss the merit of that case
Yeah,
because I was the lawyer
I
here.
know.
I was the lawyer here, and you know the
Yeah.
trouble it put me. But
Yeah.
leave alone the trouble it put me, I want to
Yeah.
simply say that I got introduced to you because you contacted me to help a refugee running away from Egypt and going to Uganda and needing help. Now, I did my part, Nora, but I want to ask you, what motivates you to help atheists in trouble?
Right. As I said, um, what motivates me, I think it's just uh, I was just part of the Atheist International. Somebody just came to me and said this girl's need help. She wants to come over to Malaysia and all. I said yes, okay. Um, I mean, as I said, I have my limitations. I try to do whatever I can within my limited capacity, right? And uh, as I say, what motivates me to help, as I say, my philosophy in life is that I don't ask what is the purpose of my life. I don't ask what is the goal, but I say this is who I am right now. This is what I have with me. What can I do to make this life journey more meaningful, more productive? What can I do? Because life is like a journey. So when you see somebody around you needs help, you just, if you can, you just do it, you know, instead of just standing and just walk. All right. I think that's my motivation to see um, uh, uh, somebody in trouble, and you just try to do your best.
Nora, your internet is becoming, it's getting challenged. Your internet is getting challenged. We are losing a bit. But
Oh,
now I should also ask you, yeah, we have been losing a bit. We didn't get the
okay.
last part. Now we are better. I think because we are delayed back a bit, maybe. Now we are
Okay.
much better back. Now, Nora talking about supporting humanism, supporting atheists in trouble, because of course the person I got to know you through was uh, um, an ex-Muslim running away from Egypt who had problems, of course, and we all did our part. Now, Nora, away from that, I know you have been helping also other projects in Africa. I'll just mention one because the person sent me a message the moment she saw you online,
Oh, this
and
Namatu Stella. Yes.
yes, and I'm going to read the
Yes.
message of appreciation. Just a minute. I'm going to read for you exactly what she wrote when she sent in the message. Namatov said that please pass my appreciation to Nora and tell her that I'm very grateful for the help she gave me. She made me reach far. She made me achieve lots of things. She is grateful.
Thank you. As I said, I'm Stella because she the son. So I said, okay. I believe to help. She said she have a project. She wants to start her own sewing business. I say, okay, I can give you the capital startup. I can give you the fund, correct? But
Yes.
eventually, you got to use whatever given to you, and you need to find a way how to, because you cannot or continuously expecting somebody to finance you all the time. You need to find a way how to do that, because I'm not just helping the one in Africa. I have some people in. I still have to from AI ex-Muslim in Malaysia under who are as a refugee and all that. I still follow up with them, and all this. I do whatever I can, uh, and other in Malaysia have stateless children and all of these things. So uh, that's what I involve in.
Thank you,
Something that
Nora. You have made your point clear. And I'm going to repeat it right here because I had it clearly. The point is, we must know as people in Africa that if someone assists you, is giving you capital, is giving you energy to move on, do not expect this support to continue non-stop.
yes,
To me, it's a humble message that we need to get. And
yeah,
say, if someone helps you, we have a saying in our vernacular, which I will not put here, but it says in English, basically to translate it, they say that if someone gives you support, don't make them become your pillar for a long time because they will break. They will
yeah.
break. They
Because
give you support.
I do have a girl who was stateless who couldn't get a
Yes.
job, cannot get national. So I told her, I'm
Mm.
training you up to survive out there in the world. I think that's why, as a mother, if I give you $100, I want to make sure that you'll be able to multiply it to 200, 300.
Exactly.
That is the skill. No point for me to continue giving you money because eventually you're going to be too dependent on me. To me, is that
Mm.
I must teach you how you need to survive out there in the world. That's the greatest gift any mother can give to the child to survive.
Nora, you have
Mhm.
said it. Supporting someone to walk on their own is the greatest gift any mother can give to any child. I wish that quotation is picked by Dennis Bongole to make it seriously stand. Why? That we are expecting donors to continuously help us.
Yeah,
Yet donors simply want to give us the energy to move on. I've been telling the same message to my team at Humanist TV Africa
yeah,
that if someone finances our work this month, don't expect it's going to finance our work next month.
Yes.
But
Cannot.
use the energy, use the money you've got this month to do something more important. Don't expect me to be sending you money every other week, because tomorrow we shall not have it. The question is, once we don't have it, won't we operate? I've been asking my team, and I'm going to ask them that question even today and tomorrow. If the money we have today is over, won't we operate? Nora have given us a lesson, which we must take with humility. That look, when I give you $100, multiply it. That was a lesson.
It's not about paying. It says that I mean, my own capacity, we help orphans. We education fund for those single children from single mother, for the kids. I mean right now I have I have a university student from a single mother, which getting funds from me $600 every month, so that he can continue his expenses, but he can still study. I have children, we finance it in my family. All right. So, but eventually once they start working, they're on their own.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's not that they learn how to, they have to come back, they give their accounts to me. What so far you have spent? Why you spend on that? Why you all these things? So before I can give you your money, you need to give me your accounts. You must be accountable. Correct?
I love this interview.
You finish the studies, all right? If you want to return back, it's all right. But if you don't return back, I will not ask you, because I give it to you on free will, right?
Nora, thank you so much.
For us, we always have somebody to push us to start us up. That once you start up, you have to be on your own already, you know?
Exactly.
Yes. Just like I say as a mother, when you see a child fall, when they start learning how to walk, they fall, what do? We do go and rush over with my poor child, or we just stand there and say, no, you're okay. Stand up, move on your own. I mean, not ride bicycle, they fall. What do? We just ride them, or we just say, no, you're okay. And then eventually they learn how to run on their own. I mean, I think that
Nora, this is a great message. This is a great message. I should tell you, I don't know how I'm going to trump it so that people in Africa can understand this, but this is a lesson. And I'm going to repeat it right using your words. That if someone helps you to stand, can you please walk? To me, that's the message I'm getting. Because this person will not hold you for a long time. They will break down.
Yes.
And the message I've been giving my team right now at HTV. When we have someone helping us, there's no, we can take it for granted. The question is, what if we didn't have this support to be online? And what if tomorrow you don't have it? Are you going to collapse? Now, once you understand that someone is a parent to you, but does not expect you to rely on them your lifetime, you must find a way to use the resources you get today to make it productive. If you are a child, it's understandable. If you are an orphan, Nora says, no, don't actually expect me to say you must stand, because you're an orphan, you are still young. But you are an adult. You are an NGO. Someone is helping you, and you think it's going to help you forever. No. It doesn't work like that.
Forever. You got to find.
It doesn't work like that.
You're given the opportunity. Use the opportunity to how you can advance yourself. I think that's what this whole thing is all about. You know,
Nora, that message, I'm going to drum it up so that people can get it, because that message, Nora, is the one people lack managing NGOs in Africa.
No, I think it's the background. As I say, it comes back to my parents, because my father told me that we are giving you education at a student level, correct? And then the rest you're on your own. So we learn how to work in the daytime and we study at night. Parents, they say we have given you what? We have given you the foundation. The rest you have to do on your own. All right? So
on your own.
I study and I work in the daytime, and I study at night to finance my education.
Work the time, so at night.
Yeah.
Creativity. Nora.
I got my bachelor, I got my A-level, my bachelor through that process. Working.
Wow.
Nobody
studying and working. You are a hard-working woman, Nora. Nora, time is against us. We have only 20 seconds left. and our 1 hour is over. I promise you, Nora, we are going to get back to you for show number 2 because we still love you. We want you to be back. Nora, give us your parting shot for today, your conclusion for today, and bye-bye for today.
Okay. I like to work. I like to use opportunity to reach out to my African friends and how we can work together. You know, and I spoke to Brian. I want to have this opportunity how we can work. We can form, a conference. It's a bridging, and that's what I want. It's my mission. How I can work together with the rest of the humanists, especially from Africa, from East Asia, from other countries.
Nora, it's great. And Nora, I should tell you, Humanst TV Africa is going to work with you.
Yes.
Humanst TV Africa is going to work with Human Society Singapore.
Yes.
This partnership begins right now.
Yes.
And we shall be giving you more interviews. We shall have your members here to work with them. And of course, we would like to have a studio in Singapore. We shall talk about that.
We should.
Yes, we should. A studio for Humanst TV in Singapore. Nora, thank you so much for being a great guest.
You're welcome.
And I should tell you, we are going to get you back here soon.
Yes, we will.
See you soon. And we shall say bye-bye using the song of unity from Africa.
From side, Selamat Malam.
Oh, wow.
In Malay, we say Selamat Malam. It's
okay. Thank you. We are going to have this song as we say bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Tuungane sote na tushereke pamoja ushindi kwa ukombozi wetu. Tujitoe wenyewe, tusimame pamoja kulinda uhuru na umoja wetu. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote, tuimbe pamoja, kuenzi shikamano hatima yetu. Tujitoe wenyewe kupambana pamoja, uhuru na umoja vitawale. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote na tujibidishe kutoa kilicho bora kwa Afrika. Chimbuko la wanadamu, chemchemi ya utamaduni, tumaini letu wakati wa mafarakano.